What's up, guys? Let's talk about it. Season 4 in Diablo 4. What's going to be one of the top builds? Well, the Sorceress is actually looking pretty insane with what we can do. So, starting right off, let's go over what is going to be absolutely broken levels of good if everything comes out with what they said will come out. So, teleport. There's a new mystical teleport effect. Now it's going to deal plus 500% increased damage. The crackling energy, don't care about it. If you guys remember, Barbarian had a 900% increase on charge, and Teleport is getting some insane love with this update. Now, in addition to that, we're not really done right there. There is something called Greater Affixes, which can actually add a 1.5 times multiplier on that affixes roll, which can actually roll on a unique as well. So basically, if it would normally roll, let's say like plus 52 intelligence, it would now roll with 75. So it's a 1.5 times multiplier. So what this means over here is with this 500% bonus with the teleport, obviously it's going to do way more damage. If you guys didn't remember, Oculus can actually give you a bonus if it rolls in the high roll with plus 15. If we get this to also roll with the brand new update with the greater affix, we're looking at crazy numbers. Now this can apply to more than just that. So to math this out and give you guys an idea on how broken and why this is going to be probably one of the best builds in the game, and probably why it will be nerfed ASAP, and another reason why I want to make this video is to tell you guys when I plan to play. With just the base of teleport, we can get 15 with the Oculus, we get a plus 4 on Shaco, plus 4 on the boots, and then the amulet can roll plus 2 defensive skills, which can also roll with a plus 3 at the higher one. Now, if all of those roll with the greater plus 50% multiplier, we're looking at a rank 44 teleport with plus 500% damage. I don't think it takes anyone very long to play Diablo 3, get something that has plus several 100% damage, but then on top of that, we're getting so many ranks to make it have increased cooldown reduction, and the numbers are just going to go through the roof. So that is one of the crazier things that I want to share with you guys. But there's actually going to be another really cool build, and this is kind of going to be a video that goes over not only the crazy build, and I'll give you guys the build for it, but there's basically kind of some theory crafting in the Sorceress community, and I want to go ahead and go over it. So there's a brand new unique called the Fractured Winterglass, which has this special ability over here where casting a frozen orb has a chance to spawn random conjuration when it explodes. Now there's also an aspect that lets you have it explode 2 additional times. There is another buff with the Sorceress, which makes it so the frozen orb will be able to be targeted where it explodes when you click. So what this means is a massive DPS buff, because how frozen orb used to work, if you were right here and your enemy was like, within kissing distance, your frozen orb would just go right by. Didn't matter if you clicked on them or if you were using a controller and it auto-targeted them, it would just zip by. So you wouldn't get the maximum amount of value because frozen orb actually deals the most amount of damage when it actually explodes. But on top of that, having that at 50%, let's use the highest roll, right? So if we had a Fractured Winterglass and it explodes 3 times, that means there is a 150% chance for it to actually give you that conjuration. So each individual one is 50%, but if we kind of look at it in the grand scheme of things, it'd be basically activating multiple times, potentially. You'd get like basically a 150% chance for the effect to activate, but because each individual one procs, you could technically get like 3 off of 1, or you can get 0. But for the most part, that gives you an idea that you're going to have about 1.5 times of it proccing every single time you activate it. So that's already going to be pretty good. Plus it rolls with cooldown reduction, so that's going to be awesome as well. But on top of that, lucky hit, your conjurations have up to a 100% chance to launch a frozen orb at nearby enemies. Now, just as a heads up, this doesn't mean every single time your conjuration then shoots out a frozen orb, then the cast of the frozen orb is going to also spawn the conjuration. I don't think it's going to work like that. I'm going to be real with you guys. It's going to be more than likely your self-casted frozen orbs, meaning your enchant will not give you that free frozen orb conjuration also when it goes off. So just giving you guys some sort of like, I guess, rules and things that may probably apply when the PTR does come out in just a few days. Also, wanted to give you guys this video so you guys can have something ready to go when the PTR launches. And I'm going to be real, this is probably going to get nerfed, but it'll be fun for the couple days that it's out, the week. So this is going to be awesome. Now, I don't think this one will get nerfed. My guess is the teleport with like the rapid, spam of it, which I'll get into in a second. That'll probably is gonna be the build that actually gets nerfed. So what else got changed with the Sorceress as well? I already went over the Fractured Winterglass. That's a cool item. This will probably be actually the best build in the game for the Sorceress. That's a new build going into Season 4. Now, the teleport build will definitely be broken. It'll probably get nerfed. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. So I'm not even going to put that on the list other than for it'll be fun for the week while it does exist. So this over here will probably be the best Sorceress build in Season 4 that is brand new. The Flame Weaver, where you're casting a firebolt through your firewall, where it can deal 100% more damage. 100 times 0 is still 0. So you having to activate firewall and then shooting firebolt through it, causing it to go through, that's just very tedious. If anyone's played Pain Gorgers, even if you get it to an insane amount of damage, it still has to activate off of the other cast, which makes it super not fun. But if you really want to, you can cast the firewall at an area where it barely touches the enemy, and then you can run Pain Gorgers because that's another source of damage. Then you could do this. Sure, is this a unique build, but is it going to be meta? Hell no. If anyone has played the Gauntlet, you know that your builds have to be absolutely super fast. And if you have to go throw the firewall, make sure it hits the tip of them and make sure the thing can still go through. Basically, this means it's a non-build. However, if those firebolts can actually shotgun effect, hit multiple enemies, then this could be one of the stronger builds in the game for only bosses. But again, that's very niche and positioning matters very greatly if it can shotgun. Next up, there's a legendary aspect that makes it so you're going to be able to deal increased damage where you have no defensive skills on your action bar. Sure, again, for bosses, maybe you mix in the Flame Weaver, Pain Gorger, Gauntlet build, which actually doesn't even work because Pain Gorgers are also gloves because they kind of put that over there because this is a unique item, not an aspect. So at that point, yeah, you're not going to be able to mix and match the combo here. But with the Tenacious Destruction over here with bosses, maybe you can try to do something with this, but again, you lose teleport as well as all of your shields, so pretty much at this point, most people will probably not even be interested in running this, and then maybe doing some like one-shot boss sort of stuff. And then the Flamethrowers aspects where Incinerate's beams split, but you deal less damage. Incinerate was already a build where most people didn't like it because you have to hold still. Diablo 4 is a very active game. There's so many explosions that, like, if you kill a monster, it needs to explode 5-10 times, so you can never pick up your loot, otherwise you just insta-die. And they're also nerfing the Flame Shield on the enchant where it could prevent you from actually dying. It just kind of procs already. So most people will probably not be interested in playing Incinerate unless this beam also lets you shotgun, which means that, like, if you can go right up close, you can hit it multiple times. Then again, it would see some play again with some sort of like one-shot super endgame boss pit mechanic uber boss. Other than that, though, more likely people are just going to be playing this because it's way better, and it's not very tedious. The position doesn't have to like match a certain area, and also with Incinerate, it ramps up in damage, so it's not what I would consider a build that most people would play. Another thing that's really nice is the enchantment on Frozen Orb is also getting buffed because it's going to prioritize things that are actually on the screen, which is great. Because sometimes it would just go in a completely random direction. So that's a great issue that is being fixed. On top of that, every sort of pet minion build is supposed to be getting buffed. They mentioned Sorceress. Sorceress doesn't really have minions, but I'm guessing the Conjurations count as the minions. So if so, that will be another buff in Conjurations, but Conjurations are part of Frozen Orb. I'll get into the build in a second. But as far as the new aspects over here, so with the Bounding Conduit over here, this got changed. So the previous one would give you some movement speed after teleporting. Now it's going to make it so teleport's cooldown is reduced by 1 to 2.5 seconds after teleporting. You get some crackling energy. This doesn't matter. Basically, all it comes down to is teleport's getting just crazy damage. Like I said, guys, it's probably going to get nerfed, but at the end of the day, if we put this on an amulet, well, we can get 50% bonus stats. So we get another like 1.25. So we'd be at like a 3.75 cooldown reduction, and that's a flat number. So ideally, we just try to get teleport to have almost no cooldown. We can mess around with that. Also, the Frost Nova enchant got a nice little buff over here where our chance for Conjurations to get these Frost Novas are going to be increased by a little bit. And so this opens up the doors for some fun things. This, by the way, doesn't have the update with what I'm about to show you in a moment over here. So take this with a grain of salt, just like everything, because we're talking about basically things that are going to be really strong on the PTR. Basically the best Sorceress builds and what I actually plan to play. So this doesn't have the updated text. So when you look at the build guide that I'm going to provide you guys, so when the season does launch for the PTR, you guys can have something to play with. That's the point of these two builds. Okay. So first off, I have the Frozen Orb slash teleport build. So these are two different builds. That's very important. So the teleport build, which is the one that I'm planning to give you guys, and I think that there's going to be hands down the most OP thing. Again, you need the Oculus, you need all these things, but it's going to be easy. The PTR will let you just go instantly to the end game. So basically, this is what you're going to be looking for. I'm not going to go over an in-depth thing, but I will link it down below so you guys will have it ready. Basically, a skill tree, you don't even need any core skills. We just skip all the core skills because teleport, with the brand new mystical teleport, again, it won't show up on the builder website because Season 4 is not out. Again, my whole goal with this video was to give you guys something so you guys can play with it when, of course, it does come out. And then on top of that, as far as the enchant goes, I didn't really feel like there was an enchant that you really needed. There wasn't anything that was super good. You can maybe run the burn enchant, but basically, you're going to throw into bolts, you're going to throw in Rhymet, group up everything, and you're just going to one-shot everything in the game. It's going to be great. But again, with the Paragon board and stuff, just check the pin because it's going to be much easier to just give it to you guys. Now, this is just the pure Frozen Orb. So I have a teleport build and a Frozen Orb build. So as far as the Frozen Orb builds, there is no amulet here because one of the newer amulets, well, you can't equip it in the builder website because it doesn't exist, but it's Fractured Winter Glass. That's what we want to have. And so that's the amulet. Then we're just running like the generic Harlequin Crest. You can run Rhymet maybe if you want to and just run teleport. And proc the stun, but I think Juggernauts overall is going to be pretty much best in slot. Remember, this is supposed to be able to tackle most stuff, and realistically, this is probably going to be one of the better builds in the next season. Ice Heart Brayers are excellent. When enemies die, you can have this Frost Nova proc, and with our enchants, since Frost Nova did get that buff, I figured we'd go ahead and throw that in with the Conjuration because it fits the theme of the build. We're also going to be getting some gem changes. They haven't revealed the gem changes, so take this with, again, a grain of salt, as I will update this later down the line with certain other things when we do get more info on all of the different, like, you know, gear stats that roll on it. But for the most part, you can use this as kind of a reference. I decided to go with Aspect of the Umbral because we can just get a bunch of resources because we are going to be freezing and chilling enemies because we're playing Frozen Orb. That way we don't have to play to bolts because Ice Heart Brayos has a pretty cool effect, and it's got two different sources of damage reduction where we have like life and just flat DR, which is a really good stat to have. And then on top of that, we get extra freeze duration, so that's going to be kind of nice. But Frozen Orb I think will be very good, again, with Conjurations, and getting plus 6 ranks to Conjuration Mastery is great because we're going to deal more damage per active Conjuration, and we're just going to be getting a bunch of these because remember, every single time that Frozen Orb explodes, since we have the aspect of the Frozen Orbit, if it would mouse over it correctly, there we go. So you guys can see over here, Frozen Orb stays in place and explodes 2 additional times. So basically it explodes 3 times. So again, we're going to have that proc effect of the brand new Fractured Winter Glass at 150%. So that's what I actually plan to play. So hopefully this kind of addresses like your questions. If you guys were, you know, wondering what do I plan to play next season? Oh, 100% making this teleport build. And then I think minions will be pretty cool too. We can actually maybe make a Conjuration build, but I think definitely the build to look out for, the thing that is going to be like the hot topic for the streamers, is getting that plus like 40 ranks of teleport and then just teleporting and one-shotting everything in the game. Because plus 500 damage on a plus 44, it's crazy. This is just in insane amounts of damage. But that's at least my theory crafting and what I plan to play. Let me know, guys, what you plan to play on the PTR first. But this is going to be probably one of the ultimate Sorceress builds, probably one of the strongest things we will ever see in Diablo 4 before. Of course, I expect it to get nerfed. But if there's any other cool things that you feel like I missed out on for the PTRs, especially with the Sorceress, let me know down below and I can update this video or make another video with a completely new build. But again, I think Frozen Orb is going to be the way to go. Realistically, but teleport is definitely going to be on top for that little time that we have with the PTR. But anyways, subscribe if you want to see the gameplay of it. Like I said, we're going to do that 500% teleport damage with a plus 40. It's going to be wild, guys. But so if you want to see the gameplay, and PTR will be out very soon. Peace out, guys.